here. So again, white Jeep. We got to go a little bit faster because we're going to get in front of the vehicle now. We're going by the airport, and we've got some aircraft getting ready to take off. But you're looking at what started maybe 10 minutes ago. Our Broward Bureau advised us that they were monitoring a pursuit or vehicle following, told us that they heard on dispatch that the police department, Fort Lauderdale, was asking for an aviation unit, that's a helicopter, to be launched from Executive Airport, which we just passed here. It's off to our west as we look at this vehicle again. We're going to push in a little bit here, give you a little tighter shot of the vehicle there. Appears to have some stuff mounted on the roof rack there, or on the top of it right again. But that is the white Jeep that police officers were trying to get stopped here, but it has not. What they're doing now is they're blocking the roadway. Information we're gathering is that they're blocking the roadway. You can see that they've got everything behind it, everything behind the vehicle now sealed off, so no other vehicular traffic is going to be involved. So, and then as we look here forward, you're going to see that there's an open stretch of road right now. What's our next? It's going to be, I believe the next one is going to be Atlantic. I'm not 100% sure here. I'll wait for a second till we come by a sign. But again, you see all the police officers there, a few more joining the pursuit here of this vehicle, roughly 55 miles an hour on I-95 northbound. Traffic in the other lanes coming southbound not affected at this point in time right now, but traffic behind this pursuit right now is being blocked across 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 lanes of traffic as this pursuit continues to go northbound. You see the sign there in the screen, that's Atlantic Boulevard as it goes northbound.
Yeah, Ralph, interesting as we're watching this with you, what you pointed out as far as them blocking the traffic behind them by positioning a cruiser in each lane, and then that open stretch of road ahead of the Jeep Wrangler. Any idea? The information that we have here is that this may have started because of a suspected aggravated battery. Any idea at this point as to how many people are in that Jeep, and if whether that holds any water?
Yeah, they were actually saying that the dark tints on the windows there. Let me zoom in a little bit, see if we can see if there's anybody in the passenger seat right there. I can put this doubler in here 1 second as I make the picture a bit lighter there. We'll look in there in that window. It looks like an empty seat on the passenger side right there. So we know that we have at least a driver, but they were indicating it was a little bit difficult to see inside the vehicle to see if there was more than one person. So right now we're going to assume that the driver is the person that they want to ask some questions, get them to stop here and ask some questions. So police being very diligent here as far as the safety of citizens and anybody who might be on the highway right there. So you've got what, I count 2, 4, 6. Okay, we just crossed, coming up on the Atlantic exit, but continuing northbound is going to continue, leading police on a slow speed chase. Again, we're showing speed of about 44 miles an hour right now as it continues to go northbound. Let's see, I'll punch that up for you right there. It should pop into your screen. I've got a map overlaying it too there. So again, you see the police officers from Fort Lauderdale, both marked and unmarked vehicles northbound following this vehicle. They are all running lights and sirens. We can hear that actually through the scanner that we were monitoring here as we listen to this pursuit. So public safety is obviously the #1 thing they're trying to deal with right now. I'm going to bring the camera way back out here just for a split second to show you all the vehicles that are involved with this right now. You can see there, take a look. Okay, so that's what you've got. Waiting for our next exit to come up right now. We've got a vehicle that's entering the roadway. Copens is the next one coming up, and we've got more police officers getting on that on-ramp right there. You can see, so again, the vehicle continues northbound. Right now our adjusted speed, 50 miles an hour for this vehicle traveling northbound on I-95, wanted by police. At least an investigation here, refusing to stop for the police officers after they lit them up. That means they put the lights and sirens on. At one point on Oakland Park Boulevard, they had the vehicle, it was stopped at an intersection. They were going to conduct what they call a felony stop. And as they tried to do that, the car fled away from them, got on the eye, but never exceeded. Well, you can see right now the speed is not that high speed that we're used to. And we're just getting in the Broward Sheriff's Office helicopter now, just joining in here. We'll bring the camera back out. I don't know if you're going to be able to see him because he's flying a little bit higher. But right in this area here of the I-95, again, northbound. Let me lose that screen there. Okay. And we're going to continue to monitor. Right now, there does not look like police are getting ready to do that pit maneuver that we're familiar with, where they spin the back of the car out, get it to face the other way. but they are following the car. The histrionics of it are that you cannot outrun the police radio and or the police helicopter. So right now that police helicopter is relaying information to ground units ahead and behind and here on the scene as they can continue northbound. What's this exit, Joe? Hey, Joe? This exit? This is Copans. Okay, you're going to see Copans, the exit for Copans there as it peels off to the bottom of the screen right there. So again, vehicles following this car, this white Jeep, started about maybe now 15 minutes ago in the area of Oakland Park, and police officers, one unit was following the vehicle, and then several requested more backup to try to get the vehicle to stop. By the time all the other police officers arrived, they were getting ready to get onto I-95 at the Oakland Park entrance ramp. We saw that is where we first pulled up on the scene here, and they continue northbound here. Kind of a leisurely drive here. 51 miles an hour is what our speedometer is indicating right now as police continue to follow this vehicle northbound.
All right, Ralph, we're going to keep you there with us as we continue to follow this somewhat slow police pursuit, as you've mentioned, considering it is on the highway. Now, from the vantage point that you gave us, I counted a total of 21 police cars, 4 of those unmarked, 17 clearly police cruisers there. And as you mentioned, this started now about 15-20 minutes ago. It's the Jeep Wrangler in the middle of your screen that police are pursuing and that we are watching. Interestingly enough, a couple of things that we have seen here is that roadblock that Ralph mentioned. And it's an interesting way to put it, but it's actually something we haven't seen in a while, where all the police cruisers have kind of spread out. And you're just seeing one batch here, but in the wider shot that we had earlier, we can see there's like a safe distance between the second group. And they've pretty much blocked off all the traffic behind that Jeep Wrangler. So you can see all 6 lanes are occupied. You can see that gap we were talking about. Ralph, thanks for showing us that. And then the other batch of cruisers behind them. So at issue here is why they're pursuing this Jeep Wrangler. The reports that we initially had suggested that there was some sort of aggravated battery and that somehow led to this pursuit. We don't know how many people are in that vehicle, though it appears at this point that there may be only one. Other than that, what we can tell you is that at last check, we were at 95 North and Copans Road. And Ralph, something else that we mentioned as we've been watching this Jeep very closely is obviously there's something on top. So they have something on the roof rack there. We can't see what it is, obviously, because it's covered. Any other information you have that you may want to share right now?
Well, it sounds like the police department is trying to formulate a plan as far as what the next step is going to be, working as they continue northbound, trying to seal off the roadway up ahead. Whether or not they'll employ spike strips or any of those things that the tools that they have to bring a vehicle to a halt has not been mentioned at this point from what we're able to listen to. But we can tell you that the vehicle is continuing northbound. There's very, very little traffic ahead of us right now because they're going so slow. All the traffic moving probably around 65 miles an hour, if not faster. So we got a pretty clear shot up ahead. They're just trying to formulate exactly who's going to possibly do that pit maneuver and spin this vehicle out. Again, they're because of the speed right now not being too excessive. They're taking it very like the chase itself. They're taking it slowly here to put together or formulate a plan of it. Okay, coming up on Southwest 10th, my pilot Joe Mancino just indicated to me. Look out the window here again. Traffic, as we bring the camera out here, you can see traffic southbound is normal. People getting an eyeful as they probably see all the flashing lights and hear the sirens coming northbound in this area. But right now, the vehicle just appears to be continuing northbound center lane, or what would be one of the center lanes there of I-95. Coming up on Southwest 10th. It'll be there in about 15 or 20 seconds, and waiting again to gather more information as to the particulars of why they want to stop this vehicle. But obviously you can tell there's serious business going on down there with a number of police officers from Fort Lauderdale. No Florida Highway Patrol on the scene at this point. I'm looking back out the window here off my left, and I don't see any coming up from the rear there yet. So that would be something else, because of course the FHP handles I-95 and traffic and enforcement there. Again, only from what we've been able to develop, only one person in that vehicle at this time. We zoomed in at one point. We can do that again for you here and show you a close-up of that passenger side front, especially the passenger side front. You'll see that it appears to be vacant in there, and just see the driver. Might even be the driver's hand right there resting on his lap. I'm not 100% sure about that, but that's the picture that we're giving you right there. That vehicle, all 4 tires in good shape, so that means that it has not done any damage to the vehicle. It may be an issue of running out of fuel. I mean, I could see that down the road a ways if that became the case right now. But again, Fort Lauderdale Police following a vehicle going on almost 20 minutes now. Started down in the area of Oakland, started in Oakland Park, came up from Oakland Park onto I. We're just getting up here now to Hillsborough Boulevard. That'll be the next major intersection that we'll cross. And again, we've got police officers here following that vehicle. At this point, nothing more than that. They are following it. The radio traffic has dwindled down quite a bit right now. They may be trying to get authorization to what their next step is going to be from commanders either on the scene, the lead police officer for this particular unit that's working this shift today, or they may be waiting for a word from headquarters. But again, Fort Lauderdale Police following this white Jeep northbound I-95 coming up on Hillsborough now. And we got, okay, I'm hearing now that they're saying there's FHP is going to be joining on the right-hand side of your screen here. You're going to see it in just a second. There's the Florida High Patrol officer that we mentioned earlier. We were waiting to see what they were going to do now. He's going to become the lead person involved in this pursuit. Has control of the situation here as far as, and what they'll do is, because they're on different radio systems, they'll patch all the radios together so that all the officers are on the same page here. So watch carefully here. We're going to probably see that pit maneuver. He's moving over to the driver's side, taking a look up. Doesn't want to get too close again, because we've seen before in these instances where if the driver is armed, if the driver decides that he's not going to stop, it could be dangerous for police officers. So he's hanging back just slightly, trying to get a peek in there, see if he can develop any more information just from an eyeball standpoint of exactly what's happening here as they continue to follow this vehicle northbound. We're going to bring the camera back out here again, show viewers who might just be tuning in right now, and tell them that, okay, he's going in for the pick right now. There's the move, and he's going to spin around. All right, we're going to hang with the shot. You can see the driver trying to control the vehicle, spinning it back around, rolls it over. All right, he's on its side right now. You're going to see officers exit their weapons. We have not given you our normal advisory that this is raw, unedited live video here with police officers, weapons now drawn. They're going to approach the vehicle here. You're going to see right now. We've got a dog here. They'll probably let the canine officer take the dog in first. I'm not 100% sure. Let's see what he does here. But again, the roadway's closed here just north, I-95 northbound, just north of Hillsborough, Joe? Yeah, just about Hillsborough Boulevard. You see weapons drawn here. We'll bring the camera in a little bit tighter. All right, you can see the damage to the thing. The driver is still in the seat there. He's still in the seat. The front window is broken out from rolling over there. They're pulling the roof off of the vehicle. You're going to see the guy come out here. They're probably pull him out. Well, here you go. All right. And I would say that he's in custody. So that's your situation right there. You watched it live on WSVN, and I'll throw it back to you guys.
All right, Ralph, thank you so much. Well, you have been watching, in case you are just joining us, a very slow police pursuit that took us on 95 northbound all the way into Hillsborough. And for a long time there, we saw this Jeep at speeds of 40, 50, something odd miles an hour, with plenty of Fort Lauderdale officers behind it. Unmarked cars, marked cars, and toward the very end, it was this FHP cruiser right here that, as Ralph mentioned, struck that pit maneuver. The Jeep rolled out, rolled over, and now that man who was in that Jeep is in custody. At this hour, a couple of questions remain, and that would be what exactly is the reason why they were in pursuit of this vehicle. As I mentioned earlier, the initial calls came out that there was some sort of aggravated battery case that led to this slow police pursuit that has now ended peacefully. Ralph, anything else you want to add? I just heard you there briefly.
Well, obviously, as a traffic advisory, I'm finding out now, you said Hillsborough, Joe? We're about a mile and a half north of Hillsborough Boulevard. So obviously, as a traffic advisory, anybody that's coming up is going to want to avoid this area. We'll be off that just for a second to show you. You can see the two police office cruisers there have the vehicle stopped on I-95 northbound. So if you know somebody that's going to be in this area, obviously give them a quick text and tell them to stay off the roadway over here. Again, 20-25 minutes slow speed chase, one person in that vehicle in custody right now, being spoken to by police officers, kind of debriefing here on the scene. No police officers injured in this pursuit. That's what we got for you.
All right, Ralph, we're going to stay with it for just a couple minutes longer. Thank you for your coverage from beginning to end here. Again, if you are just joining us, you are watching the end of a police pursuit that took us down I-95 northbound, just about a mile away from Hillsborough County. A lot of officers, 21 police cruisers I counted at one point, and that was before the FHB cruiser joined that scene to bring this to a peaceful end. Look at that. Ralph, thanks for that picture showing us all the cruisers there, Fort Lauderdale police, as well as all the unmarked vehicles. But it was a very rare police pursuit, not one we've seen like it in a while, where police basically occupied every lane of the highway there. There wasn't much traffic at the time, but had there been, they were controlling the flow of traffic by blocking everything happening behind them, and ahead of that Jeep, just open road. And here you see the ending of it with the Jeep on its side. We saw them pry the top off that Jeep and bring that man out. So he is now in custody, and what we await is news on exactly what started all of this as we show you the end. There it goes, the pit maneuver. He tries to control that Jeep, but in the end it rolls onto its side. And in just a couple of seconds, we see quickly all those patrol cars surround that Jeep. Officers come out, guns drawn. No surprise that they took control of that situation very, very quickly. And you'll see it right now. We saw a K-9 officer at one point. We saw all these officers surround the FHP vehicle. And then you'll see them approach the vehicle very, very cautiously. And ultimately, you will see them as they pry the top part open and they bring that man out. So complete coverage right now of this happening live on 7. You saw it all unfold. You're going to see much more at noon when we'll have further coverage. I'm Christine Cruz. We hope to see you then.
This has been a 7 News special report. We now rejoin regularly scheduled programming.
Should be you can't marry somebody who's your superior, or you can't date somebody who's your superior, right? You can date somebody who's just...
You're gonna get turned on to the man who mops the floor?
I mean, maybe.
No. No.
Love is blind, Wendy. Love is blind.
Not after a particular age, it's not. All right, you all. Well...